Welcome to Bright New Corner Ministry. My name is Cindy Ann Lewis Walcott, and we are studying life lessons from the Holy Bible. You don't have to be religious, these lessons are for holistic living. Today's lesson can be found in Genesis chapter 27, verses 1 to 4. It's a lesson I call planning for your final end. So, in making a will or something like that. But the story we're going to study is going to tell us what not to do. So we're still with this in Genesis here with the story of Isaac, which is Abraham's son, and Abraham's children. I'm sorry, Isaac's children, so Abraham's grandchildren. And I'm going to read Genesis chapter 27, verses 1 to 4, so then we can have a discussion. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son, and he said unto him, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold now, I am old, and I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapon, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. I'm going to stop here, because the lesson to come up, if I wouldn't go forward, it's another lesson. So Isaac now is quite up there in age, and he's not able to see well. So he calls his son, and he knows the characteristics and the voice and the feel and so on of his children. So he calls Esau, and he's asking Esau to go out and get him, fetch some meat and make him a good, nice meal so that he can enjoy and bless Esau. Now, it's good that he's planning, because he's saying, I don't know when my end will come, and I want to do this now. It's good that he's making arrangement for his end, what happens when he dies, but he's waited too long. He can't see anymore. And that's why I said this lesson is basically the story is going to tell us what not to do. I know lots of us, we don't want to deal with the story of, we don't want to deal with the issue of making a will. We have, especially as Black people, we have certain beliefs that you make a will and right away you die. That's what I was told by a few people. I used to sell insurance once, and I always encourage, all people, Black people, to let's go ahead and make a will, create a power of attorney and stuff like that. They just don't want to deal with that, because, as I said, this lady said to me once, anybody she knew that made a will, they died right after that. And so she didn't want to die, so she wouldn't make a will. And death comes, whether you make a will or not. It's best to have these things prepared, so when the end comes, your children or whoever you're leaving behind wouldn't have to be going through any kind of legal difficulty to create a proper sending off for you. You don't want people to have to be fighting over the things you had even. You want to have a document that says what your wishes are. This is basically what Isaac's doing here. He's saying to his son, my end's coming. I want to give you your blessing, before I go. I encourage you. People die every day. We have no guarantee of how long we're going to live. We don't know what the number is. The Bible tells us later on, by 3:10. But that's not a guarantee for anybody. People walk outside. You're in your yard, some car pass by, flips the curb, and we've seen it all before. So what make us think that creating a will or and wishes is gonna bring death sooner? This is one thing we do not know. The one thing we do know is that we will die. We don't know how or when. So why not prepare for it? And Isaac's preparing for it here, but Isaac's waited too long. And because he's waited too long, we're going to see the consequence coming up in another lesson. So he's waiting, he waits now until he really can't see. So don't wait that long and create difficulties for the people you're going to leave behind. Every day, for me, before I travel, and I have a will, it's up there on the top shelf. And before I travel, I always update it to make sure it is, you know, up to current to where I am at that time. I don't update it every day, but every time I'm gonna travel away from this country, I make sure it's as current as possible. But if it's not as current as possible when I step outside today and something happened, at least something is there, and my children wouldn't have to fight over what's left behind, or my family wouldn't have to fight over what's left behind. There wouldn't be any discrepancy in what mom meant or what my sister meant or my daughter. So I am saying here, this is a very good lesson for us in that Isaac's preparing for his end. The thing is, in what not to do is not wait too late. So today I want you to sit down and just put together the things you have. And if you had to leave this earth today, if God calls you home today, what would you be leaving behind, and who would you want to have it? And how would you want your end to be? Like how do you want your sending off to be? Put these things down on paper. You have to be realistic. We're all going to die according to what God said. Since Adam and Eve committed the sin way back in lesson whatever they did wrong, we know now that we all will die. So creating a will or a plan for how to, when the end comes, is not going to hasten your end. And it's a myth. There are many people that I've had mine, I would say maybe over 10 years or so, and I'm still here. So seriously start thinking about doing the right thing. And in our society, in our black society, it's too common that at funerals or in the lawyer's office we hear fights and all this because or the government comes in and takes this or that because there wasn't any preparations made for your end. So let's just leave behind a good legacy. Today, start planning and putting away papers and stuff. Put everything together nicely in a package for when the end comes, because the end will come according to God's word. So I hope this is helpful today. I hope it's a lesson you take a heart and seriously consider. And I know a lot of people, maybe as a form of insurance, they say, I don't care what happens when I die, I'm dead anyway. And it's a selfish thing to say, and it just makes you look ignorant. Because you know you have people you're going to leave behind that you love. And you expect people to take care of you, of your end, to bury you. So even if it's that all you have to do, say I want so and so to bury me, I have so and so prepared there, waiting there in the bank so that so and so could bury. You have to do that for human dignity's sake, for all humanity's sake, and for our community moving forward. Please remember to give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your day now. Bye bye.